All right, ready to dive into the shadow world?
Let's do it.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into Cassandra Clare's City of Bones.
Awesome.
You sent in your well-worn copy,
Oh, nice.
which means we get to unpack this awesome blend of urban fantasy
It's a great mix.
and, surprisingly, some subtle nods to Shakespeare.
Subtle, maybe to some, but they're definitely there.
Definitely.
And Claire doesn't waste any time throwing us headfirst into this hidden world.
Yeah, it's like bam, right into it.
Clary Frey, our protagonist, thinks she's just a regular New Yorker.
Right, just normal life, hanging out.
That is, until a trip to the Pandemonium Club changes everything.
Oh yeah, that club scene is intense.
It is.
She sees Jace and his friends fighting,
Yeah.
but they're not exactly brawling in the street.
No.
They're battling these creatures, demons, that no one else can even see.
Exactly.
I can only imagine what that must be like.
Oh, no, right?
Suddenly realizing there's a whole other dimension existing alongside our own.
It's a classic way to introduce the concept of seeing the unseen in fantasy.
For sure.
And you're right.
Yeah.
It's that clash between the ordinary and the extraordinary
Right.
that really hooks the reader.
Definitely.
And that's just the beginning of Claire's world building.
It's true. It gets bigger and bigger.
We're introduced to the Shadowhunters,
Okay.
a warrior race dedicated to protecting humanity from these demons.
Protecting us from the things that go bump in the night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there are the Downworlders,
Right.
which include vampires,
Classics.
werewolves, warlocks, and fairies.
It's a lot to take in, right?
It is a lot.
But what I found interesting is that there are rules,
Yeah,
almost a social structure to this hidden world.
absolutely.
It's not just a free-for-all of magical beings running amok.
Exactly. There's the Clave,
Okay.
the governing body of Shadowhunters,
Right.
and the Accords,
Okay.
a set of laws designed to maintain a fragile peace between Shadowhunters and Downworlders.
Right. So it's not just fighting all the time.
Right.
There's like some structure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to maintain that peace,
I bet.
which is something Clary learns quickly,
Right.
especially when her mom, Jocelyn, gets kidnapped,
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
leaving behind a trail of cryptic clues,
I love those.
like destroyed paintings in hidden boxes.
I felt like I was trying to solve a puzzle alongside Clary.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Jocelyn is a fascinating character.
She is.
Even though she's absent for much of the book,
It's true. We don't see her much.
you learn that she was once a Shadowhunter
Oh, interesting.
who deliberately shielded Clary from this dangerous life,
Ah, that makes sense.
using runes and magic to suppress Clary's abilities.
So she was trying to keep her safe.
Exactly.
And that brings us to one of the more technical aspects of this world.
Oh, cool.
Runes.
Runes.
Okay, so runes are basically symbols that Shadowhunters use to give themselves special abilities, right?
Precisely.
Okay.
Runes are like magical circuits,
Oh, interesting.
drawing power from a dimension called the Gray Book.
The Gray Book.
Yes.
Okay.
And channeling it into specific effects.
So that's how they, like, get stronger and faster
right.
and stuff.
They're integral to Shadowhunter culture.
So they're not just for fighting.
No, no.
Okay.
Everything from fighting to healing.
Ah, that makes sense.
And speaking of abilities, remember how Clary could always see things others couldn't?
Right.
Even as a child.
Right?
Like she could see fairies in the park
Yes.
when no one else could.
It's almost like she had a sixth sense.
Exactly.
And now we know that sixth sense is called the sight.
Jocelyn, knowing the dangers of the shadow world,
Right.
had Magnus Bane,
Oh, Magnus.
the High Warlock of Brooklyn,
Powerful guy.
suppress Clary's sight using magic.
So that's how they blocked it?
Exactly.
Interesting.
It begs the question, was she right to do so?
Hmm.
To rob Clary of her true self in an attempt to protect her?
That's a tough one.
It is.
On the one hand, I get it. Jocelyn wanted a normal life for Clary,
Right.
free from the burdens of the shadow world.
Sure.
But on the other hand, Clary had a right to know who she really was.
Absolutely.
It's like a metaphor for how parents sometimes try to shelter their kids from the harsh realities of the world. But ultimately, kids need to face those realities to grow and find their own path.
And that's precisely what Clary starts to do the moment she stumbles into the shadow world.
It's like being thrown in the deep end.
Exactly.
And who better to guide her through this new reality than Jace,
oh, Chase.
the blue-haired, brooding shadow hunter who initially seems to know everything.
He's definitely got that whole bad boy with a heart of gold vibe going on.
He does. He totally does.
But as we learn,
Uh-oh.
he's carrying a heavy burden. The belief that Valentine, the antagonist of the story, is his father.
Oh, wow.
Talk about complicated family dynamic.
So he's like got this destiny hanging over him.
It's more than just complicated.
Right.
Imagine believing your father is a hero, a legendary shadow hunter,
Yeah.
only to discover that he's actually a power-hungry villain who wants to overthrow the Clave and reshape the world in his image.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's a classic case of nature versus nurture.
Totally.
And it gets even more intense when Valentine's true intentions are revealed to obtain the mortal cup.
Right. I remember that.
One of the mortal instruments created by the angel Raziel,
Whoa.
which has the power to create new shadow hunters.
That's a lot of power.
This is where that Shakespearean influence you mentioned starts to surface.
Oh, interesting.
Valentine isn't just a villain.
Right.
He's a charismatic manipulator
Ooh.
who uses his words and his charm to twist people's perceptions and exploit their vulnerabilities.
It's very Iago-like, that desire to sow chaos and manipulate others for personal gain.
Exactly.
So he's not just a physical threat, but an ideological one, too.
Absolutely.
He's trying to win people over to his side while also searching for this incredibly powerful artifact.
Right.
It's definitely raising the stakes. And we see this play out in his relationship with Jace. He's constantly trying to mold Jace into his image to turn him into a weapon.
Exactly.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
But also fascinating to see how Jace grapples with this manipulation.
For sure.
Torn between what he's been taught and what he's starting to feel.
Right,
That inner struggle, that tug of war between the light and the darkness.
Exactly.
Makes Jace such a complex and relatable character.
Totally.
It's like he's constantly questioning everything he thought he knew about himself and his place in the world.
And then there's Luke.
Oh, yeah, Luke.
Jocelyn's best friend.
Right.
Who has been a constant presence in Clary's life.
Like that favorite uncle.
Yeah.
He seems like a normal, everyday guy.
Right.
Until he reveals his true identity as a werewolf.
Werewolf, bam.
And not just any werewolf.
No.
He's a former shadow hunter who was bitten and turned against his will.
Right.
Forever changing his life.
It's tough being a werewolf.
He's a walking embodiment of sacrifice and loyalty.
He is.
I mean, he stayed by Jocelyn's side for years, protecting her and Clary, even though it meant living a life in the shadows.
Exactly.
And what's remarkable about Luke's that he never loses his humanity,
right?
His compassion.
Yeah.
Even after being betrayed by the shadow hunter world,
it's true.
He still believes in fighting for what's right, for protecting those he loves. It's a stark contrast to Valentine's ruthless ambition.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've got shadow hunters, downworlders, runes, a kidnapped mom, a brooding love interest, and a werewolf protector.
Wow.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, as Clary delves deeper into her newfound abilities and the secrets of her past, the mystery only intensifies.
Oh, no.
Remember, we're just scratching the surface of this world.
Oh, good.
And trust me,
I do.
Claire has plenty more twists and turns in store.
Can't wait to dive into those.
Let's do it.
But first, let's pause and consider this.
Okay.
Knowing what you know now about this hidden world, about the sacrifices and the dangers involved, would you want to be a shadow hunter?
That's a tough one.
What aspects of this world appeal to you?
Right.
And what aspects make you hesitant?
Good questions. It's interesting that you ask about wanting to be a shadow hunter.
Yeah.
Because Clary is grappling with that very question.
Oh, that's true.
She's learning to fight, to use runes.
Right.
But it's not exactly coming naturally to her.
I feel like that would be hard.
It's more of a struggle, which I think makes her more relatable.
Totally, yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. She's not instantly a badass warrior.
No.
She's got this artistic side, this creativity.
Right.
And she's trying to figure out how those talents fit into this world of swords and spells.
Exactly.
I mean, that's going to be tough.
And that struggle is what makes her journey so compelling.
Yeah.
She's not just accepting her fate.
Right.
She's actively shaping it.
Yeah.
Forging her own path.
It's like she's making her own destiny.
And part of that involves unlocking those blocked memories.
Ah, yeah, those memories.
Which brings us back to Magnus Bane, right?
Magnus.
Clary remembers his name from her dreams.
Yeah, the dreams are important.
Realizing he's the key to unlocking her past.
I see.
But getting to him isn't exactly easy.
Yeah, he's not just like hanging out at the coffee shop.
Remember that wild party he throws?
Oh, that party is pure chaos.
It is pure chaos.
So many people.
It's a brilliant way for Claire to showcase the diversity of the downworlder community.
Oh, that's true.
From vampires and werewolves to warlocks and fairies.
The whole gang's there.
It's a reminder that this hidden world is more than just darkness and danger.
Yeah, there's fun stuff too.
It's also full of life, music, and beauty.
It's definitely a sensory overload for Clary.
For sure.
Who's still getting used to the idea of demons and magic.
Right. It's a lot to take in.
But amid the chaos,
Yeah.
Magnus drops a bombshell.
Uh-oh.
He was the one who blocked Clary's memories at Jocelyn's request.
Big reveal.
And if that wasn't enough...
What? There's more.
He reveals something even more shocking.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Clary's father is...
Don't leave me hanging.
Valentine.
Valentine.
Oh, wow.
This is where the story takes a truly Shakespearean turn.
It does.
The man Clary thought was dead?
Right.
The man Jocelyn tried so desperately to protect her from?
Yeah.
Is actually the villain who's been pulling the strings all along?
Like a puppet master?
It's like something out of a Greek tragedy.
It is.
This idea of fate and destiny that you can't escape.
You can't run from who you are.
I can't even imagine how betrayed Clary must feel.
Right. I mean, come on.
It's like her whole world just imploded.
Everything she thought she knew is gone.
And to make matters worse, Valentine is determined to have Jace by his side,
Oh, no.
believing him to be his loyal son.
Jace is caught in the middle.
It highlights Valentine's manipulative nature.
He's a master at it.
He's preying on Jace's insecurities, his desire for a family,
Right. He wants that connection.
to twist him into a weapon for his cause. It's a chilling reminder that villains aren't always monsters lurking in the shadows.
They could be anyone.
They can be charismatic,
Yeah.
even charming individuals who exploit people's vulnerabilities for their own gain.
Yeah, they know how to play the game.
And speaking of vulnerabilities, let's talk about Simon.
Oh, Simon, yeah.
He's thrown headfirst into this crazy world,
Poor guy.
trying to make sense of it while dealing with his own feelings for Clary.
Right. He's got a lot on his plate.
He's like the ultimate best friend,
He is a good friend.
always there for her,
Always.
even when he's scared out of his wits.
And I feel like he's scared a lot.
I find Simon to be one of the most relatable characters in the book.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have any superpowers.
He's just a normal dude.
He's not a trained warrior,
Right?
but he's brave and loyal,
He is.
and he's willing to risk his life for Clary.
That's true love.
And remember what happens to him at Magnus's party.
Oh, yeah, that poor guy. A jealous vampire turns him into a rat.
It's rough.
I mean, talk about bad luck. Seriously.
Talk about a bad night.
It's a turning point for Simon.
Oh, how so?
He experiences the darker side of the shadow world firsthand,
I bet that's scary.
facing real danger and coming to terms with his own mortality.
He really sees what's at stake.
But it also highlights his resilience
Yeah.
and his determination to protect Clary,
Even as a rat.
even in his rat form.
That's dedication.
And it's a good thing he has friends like Jace, Alec, and Isabel to come to his rescue.
Yeah, they're a good team.
But even with their help,
Uh-oh.
things go from bad to worse when they're attacked by a group of rogue vampires
Vampires again?
who have been hunting down downworlders.
Oh, so it's not just about Simon anymore.
This attack serves as a reminder of the fragile peace that exists between shadow hunters and downworlders.
That peace doesn't seem to last long.
There are those on both sides who don't agree with the Accords,
Right, not everyone wants peace.
who perpetuate prejudice and fear.
Yeah, fear can be dangerous.
It's a reflection of real-world tensions.
Oh, interesting. How fear and misunderstanding can lead to violence and division.
Yeah, it's like a cycle.
And these tensions are only heightened when Clary, Jace, and the others return to the Institute,
They're not safe even at home.
only to face another attack, this time from a greater demon
Oh, man. Things are escalating.
that emerges from a portal created by Madame Dorothea.
Portals, demons. This is intense.
This battle is significant because it shows the true power of these demonic forces.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
And it highlights the sacrifices shadow hunters are willing to make to protect the world.
They put their lives on the line.
Remember how Alec is seriously injured, poisoned by the demon's claws?
That scene is heartbreaking. Isabel, his sister, is completely distraught.
Yeah, they're so close.
And you can feel the bond between them, the fierce loyalty that drives them to protect each other.
It's a powerful sibling bond.
It's a reminder that family isn't just about blood.
Right.
It's about the people you choose to stand beside, the people you'd risk your life for.
The people you trust.
And as if that wasn't enough, amidst the chaos,
Uh-oh. What now?
we learn that Hodge, their tutor, has betrayed them.
Hodge. No way.
He's been working with Valentine all along,
That's cold.
manipulating them and stealing the mortal cup.
Talk about a twist. It's a classic case of Appearances can be deceiving.
Right. You never know who to trust.
The person they trusted the most turns out to be their enemy.
I remember feeling so betrayed when I first read that part.
It's a real gut punch.
It's a betrayal that cuts deep, especially for Jace.
Yeah, he really looked up to Hodge.
Who looked up to Hodge as a mentor?
But it also forces Clary to rely on her own instincts and resourcefulness.
She's got to think on her feet.
She escapes from the Institute with Luke's help,
Go, Clare!
defying Hodge and Valentine's attempts to control her.
It's a powerful moment of defiance.
It is.
A sign that Clary is no longer the scared girl who stumbled into this world.
It's come a long way.
She's starting to embrace her power, her agency.
And as she learns more about her past, about her true potential, that power will only grow.
It's exciting to see her develop.
Remember what Magnus said about her sight returning?
Yeah, that was a big clue.
It's a hint that Clary's journey is far from over.
Right. And it's not just about her powers.
No.
It's about her choices, her relationships.
Her growth as a person.
She's starting to see the complexities of this world, the shades of gray that exist even within a group dedicated to upholding justice.
And not always black and white.
And that's what makes the story so compelling.
Absolutely.
It's not just about good versus evil.
Right.
It's about navigating those gray areas.
Being those tough calls.
About making difficult choices and facing the consequences.
Exactly.
And as Clary heads towards the final confrontation with Valentine,
Here we go.
she's going to need all her strength and resourcefulness to survive.
This is the big one.
Especially since Valentine now has the mortal cup.
Uh-oh, he's got the power?
He's heading to Renwick's.
Renwick's, okay.
That abandoned hospital on Roosevelt Island.
Creepy.
To put his plan in motion.
It's all coming to a head.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
Tick-tock.
And Clary and her allies are racing against time to stop him.
The stakes are high.
But before we dive into that final battle,
Okay, take a breath.
let's take a moment to reflect.
Good idea.
What aspects of Clary's journey resonate most with you?
It's a powerful story.
Have you ever felt like you were thrust into a situation you weren't prepared for?
I think we've all been there.
How did you cope?
Let us know.
That final showdown at Renwick's is like a collision of everything we've talked about so far.
It all comes together.
You've got Valentine with the mortal cup,
He's got the power.
ready to reshape the world according to his twisted vision.
It's his endgame.
You've got Jace caught in the middle,
Poor Jace.
struggling with his identity and loyalties.
It's a tough spot to be in.
And you've got Clary,
Our hero.
determined to save her mom and stop Valentine,
She's not giving up.
even if it means facing her greatest fears.
She's brave.
And it's not just a battle of magical powers,
No.
but a battle of ideologies.
Right. It's about what they believe in.
Valentine represents this extremist viewpoint,
The worst kind.
this belief that Shadowhunters are superior to Downworlders
That's messed up.
and should rule over them.
It's all about control for him.
Clary, on the other hand,
Yeah, she's different.
represents a more inclusive vision,
Much better.
one where Shadowhunters and Downworlders can coexist peacefully.
That's the dream.
That clash of ideologies really comes through in the way the battle unfolds.
It's not just random fighting.
It's not just a chaotic free-for-all, it's almost like a chess match.
I like that analogy.
Each side making strategic moves and counter moves.
Trying to outmaneuver each other.
And amidst all the action,
Yeah.
you've got these intense emotional moments.
They're a roller coaster.
These glimpses into the characters' inner turmoil.
They're all going through so much.
Like when Luke leads a pack of werewolves against Valentine's forces,
Luke's a true friend.
demonstrating his unwavering commitment to protecting Clary and Jocelyn.
He's always got their backs.
It's a brutal fight,
It is.
and the casualties underscore the high stakes involved.
People get hurt. Some don't make it.
These characters aren't just playing a game.
No, this is real.
They're fighting for their lives, for their beliefs.
It's life or death.
And the tension just keeps building as Clary confronts Valentine,
It's a tense scene.
trying to reason with him even as he holds Jace captive.
Valentine's using Jace as a pawn.
That scene is gut-wrenching because you see how Valentine manipulates Jace,
He's a master manipulator.
playing on his insecurities and twisting his perception of the world.
Jace doesn't know what to believe anymore.
I remember feeling so helpless when I read that part.
It's hard to watch.
And then comes the ultimate bombshell.
Here it comes.
Valentine reveals that Jace isn't actually Michael Whalen's son,
What?
but his own.
No way!
He raised Jace as a weapon,
That's so messed up.
twisting his mind and poisoning his heart with his own twisted ideology.
He's been brainwashed.
I remember gasping out loud when I first read that part.
It's a huge twist.
It's a classic case of nature versus nurture.
It really is.
Jace has been raised to believe that he's destined for greatness,
That he's special.
that he's superior to others.
Valentine's poison.
But deep down, he's conflicted.
He is.
He's drawn to Clary and her friends.
They represent something different.
To their sense of compassion and justice.
They're the good guys.
And it's that internal conflict, that struggle between the light and the darkness.
What makes him interesting?
That makes Jace such a fascinating character.
He's not just a bad guy.
He's not just a pawn in Valentine's game.
No, he's more than that.
He's a complex individual with his own desires and aspirations.
He's trying to figure out who he is.
And despite everything Valentine has done,
it's hard to forgive that.
Clary doesn't give up on Jace.
She sees the good in him.
She sees the good in him, the potential for redemption.
She believes he can change.
It's a testament to her empathy and her belief in the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds.
Love conquers all, right?
That's what I love about Clary.
Me too.
She's not just a fighter.
She's more than that.
She's a believer.
In a better world.
She believes in love, in friendship, in the possibility of a better world.
She's got hope.
And that belief is what fuels her actions.
It gives her strength.
She knows she can't defeat Valentine with brute force.
She's got to be smarter.
She has to outsmart him.
Outthink him.
To appeal to the part of Jace that still yearns for connection and belonging.
The part that's still good.
And she does this in a truly ingenious way.
How?
By using the mortal cup to summon the angel Raziel.
Whoa, that's a big move.
It's a desperate gamble.
We could backfire.
A leap of faith that could either save Jace or destroy them all.
High stakes.
And it's a scene that showcases Claire's masterful use of symbolism and religious imagery.
She's a great writer.
Oh yeah, that scene is epic.
It is.
The blinding light.
I could picture it.
The sense of awe and power as Raziel descends.
It's like something out of a movie.
It's like a divine intervention. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's still hope.
There's always hope.
And Raziel grants Clary's wish.
He listens to her.
Freeing Jace from Valentine's control.
Jace is finally free.
And allowing him to choose his own path.
He gets to decide who he wants to be.
It's a pivotal moment.
A turning point.
A culmination of all of Jace's internal struggles.
He's been fighting for so long.
He finally breaks free from the manipulation.
It's about time.
And embraces his true family, the people who love and accept him for who he is, not for who they want him to be.
He's found his people.
It's a powerful reminder that we always have the power to choose our own destiny.
We have free will.
Even if our past has been shaped by forces beyond our control.
We're not defined by our past.
And it's a testament to the strength of human connection.
We need each other.
The power of love and loyalty to overcome even the darkest influences.
Love and loyalty are powerful forces.
But as the dust settles, we're left on with a bittersweet victory.
How so?
Jocelyn remains in a magical coma.
Oh no, she's still not awake.
A consequence of Valentine's cruelty.
Valentine's actions have consequences.
Leaving Clary with a lingering sense of loss and longing.
She's lost so much.
It's a reminder that even when good triumphs over evil, there are scars that remain, wounds that take time to heal.
It's not a perfect ending.
It's a realistic touch, I think.
It is.
Life isn't always about happy endings.
No, it's messy.
Sometimes it's about learning to live with the consequences of our choices.
And learning from our mistakes.
And finding the strength to keep going even when things are tough.
Resilience is key.
And that's what Clary does.
She's a survivor.
She's faced her fears, she's discovered her true identity, and she's found a place where she belongs.
She's come so far.
She's no longer the scared girl who stumbled into this world.
She's transformed.
She's a shadow hunter, a warrior, a protector.
She's found her purpose.
And she's ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead.
Bring it on.
And she's not alone.
She's got her friend.
She has Jace, Simon, Luke, Alec, Isabel, a whole network of people who care about her and who will fight alongside her.
They're a family.
It's a reminder that even in a world full of magic and danger, it's the human connections,
the things that matter,
the bonds of friendship and love that truly matter.
Those are the things worth fighting for.
So as we close the book on City of Bones,
time to say goodbye.
We're left with a sense of both closure and anticipation.
It's the end, but also a beginning.
The immediate threat has been dealt with.
Valentine's gone.
But the battle for the shadow world, for a world where everyone can live in peace and harmony,
that's the goal,
is far from over.
The fight continues.
And what about you?
Yeah, what about you?
What are your takeaways from this deep dive into City of Bones?
What did you learn?
What resonated with you the most?
What stood out?
What questions are you still pondering?
keep thinking about it.
Keep those thoughts in mind as you continue to explore the world of Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunters.
It's a big world out there.
And remember, there's always more to discover, more to learn, more to connect with.
Until next time.